Oh, also I should get the game on screen. That's another one. Thank God I realized early. I'm surprised I noticed it all. There you go. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything other than me messing in the options menu. So, unless you really wanted to see that high-octane options menu content, you didn't miss anything. Alright. I want to go to Friends menu and Unlisted lobby. There you go. Those are the settings. Oh god. Alright. Is it going to be a quick return to form? Or am I going to be bouncing around not knowing what I'm doing for a while? It's looking like the latter. I gotta be honest. Although I am using a different analog stick, so that's part of it. You know, I said it was a busted analog stick, but there are actually some good qualities to it. For certain games, especially when you get used to it. Like, I actually think that the busted analog stick is better for fighting games, although maybe a little bit unfair. But, I mean, there's also people who play fighting games with, like, digital input. So, if you're going to say that that's unfair, then it's about as unfair as that is. But if you're not going to say that that's unfair, then it's not unfair. Because the problem with my... Oh, and there I go. The problem with my my bootleg-ass 360 controller is that it doesn't have full analog control. It has 50% analog control, which is to say that it reaches... Like, you know, say you've got two axes in an analog stick. You got the X and Y axis going left and right, going up and down. It reaches full input on either axis just by going halfway. So it doesn't have the full analog control, or at least it's just like a hypersensitive analog stick is the easiest way to describe it, because it still does have full analog control. It's just it moves way faster than it's supposed to. And it's especially problematic because, like, normally in video games, I would say for the most part, you're holding, like, 100% in any given direction. Now, that direction is going to change, but typically, in most situations, you're not doing little tippy taps like a portion of the way up the analog stick. Now, in this game, that's a little different, but in most games, that's not something you're going to be doing. And it creates a huge problem with that because, God, be careful. It's not that bad. When you're holding like 100% in any given direction with the analog stick, it gets particularly finicky around the corners. Because, like, the real 100% is halfway up the analog stick, so when you're trying to do, like, gentle movements, like if you're holding straight down, for example, and you just gently want to move, like, down and to the left a bit, you're accidentally going to move much farther than you think you are, due to the fact that, it's like an exaggerated input. That's the best way to put it. Like, every input you do is exaggerated past the halfway mark of the controller. I think that's a good way of describing it. Which, yeah, I don't know. For fighting games, like, that's the controller I preferred to use when I played Blaze more frequently, because it was closer to digital input. I still felt like controller was more comfortable than keyboard for me, but using an analog stick that was closer... Holy shit, dude. That was almost legendary. That's fine. That's fine. Using a controller that was closer to digital than analog definitely helped get me a little bit more on par with what the average other player was using. Because I think most players were using keyboard for plays. And the original Lethal League. Oof. I suck, dude. I'm glad I'm not that bad, though. Like, I actually got back pretty quickly. And I did surprisingly well on this section than I thought I would with how long it's been. Like, I haven't touched this game at all since the last time I streamed it. Ooh, that sucks. Please? Yeah, dude. Alright. Partial recovery. That's all you could hope for there, because that drop is... I mean, it's not that punishing. There are definitely more punishing drops in the game. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. The drop off the left of this mushroom area, one of the worst. I would be pretty shattered as a human being if we immediately had to go back through the fruit and tree section of the game. That would not be the best feeling. But yeah, I'm kind of I was used to the near digital inputs for this game, so my movements feel a little bit more sluggish than they did. Oh god, that's fine. Ooh, not fine. Not fine at all. Making it worse and worse by the second. Okay. Wow, I recovered from that so poorly. As soon as I bonked, I should have gone to the right. That was a big mistake. That's fine though. Just don't choke on the pineapples. Dude, I'm so good at this game. What the fuck happened? Never mind, I suck. I was never good. God damn it, dude. But really, I'm doing so much better than I thought I would, coming back to this after like months of not touching it. Feels good. Like that's one of the things I love about this kind of game, where it's, oh no. That was so close to the honey. Just don't get honeyed, dude. Just don't. I'm so close. You son of a bitch, dude! I hate this game. I don't like anything about this genre. There is nothing good about it. God damn it, dude. Okay. Well, you gotta experience the worst parts before you can experience the best parts, right? That's what it's all about. But to continue my train of thought before it got completely derailed by absolute disaster. There is like a really good quality of a game like this. I think that good quality is, oh, is that where, that's where fucking Nicholas was departed. I can't remember, was the last stream I did of this the one I did with Nicholas? It's been so long. But, yeah, poor Nick. Never made it past the tree section. It is the hardest section of the game. Like, I fucked up. It's, at the very least, the most punishing section of the game. I still think, like, I went back on it, but I still think it's the hardest part of the game. But if you don't agree with that, and, you know, I guess I can't say that with 100% authority, because there are just parts of the game I haven't seen yet, right? But from what I've seen, this is both the hardest and most punishing section of the game, so it's completely fair that that Neck got stuck in the tree section, because I got stuck in the tree section for decades before I got past it and could consistently get past it. And some would say I'm still not consistent. Some would say, some would argue that I still can't do the tree section consistently. Stream's been good. I think it's been alright. There's, I don't know, there's some mixed feelings about the Risk of Rain section, because, like, I open myself up to a lot of criticism when I shit-talk the game, and am also bad at it. You know, like, that brings a certain kind of crowd that You know, even if your complaints are valid, and there are things that could be better about the game, if you do poorly at the game while talking bad about it, you're always going to be greeted with a certain kind of, oh, well, I don't even know why you think you have any sort of authority on the subject when you can't even beat the last boss of the game. Just, you know, kind of fair, honestly. Like, I can't even act like that's a pedantic argument or anything. You typically should come from a base of understanding the game fully before making, like, large claims such as, this is flawed by design. But at the same time, I feel like I know enough about design in general to know the things that I don't like. That being said, perfect example, I still fucking hate the honey in this game. I think every other part about this game is like just an incredibly fun experience, except the honey. God, I hate the honey. The honey makes this section so miserable. Like, it would be hard enough if you didn't just lose complete control of your character for fucking up a tiny little jump. And I mean, every single time I play this game, I know I just went over the same thing with Risk of Rain 2. It's like every time I play Risk of Rain 2, I have to list the exact same complaints over and over again. Every single time I play this game, I feel like I need to talk about the honey. Because it goes entirely against what I think is fun about these games. Which is to say, I think it's a lot of fun, for one, just learning, like, a game in a genre you enjoy, platformer, with an entirely different, but still completely viable control scheme, and, you know, depending on who you ask, some people would look at the control scheme to this game and say it's not viable or valid, but, I think it is. Like, there is a mastery to be had, which is why, like, people have speedrun times of, like, less than 3 minutes or something stupid. But, you know, I think the honey goes against that. What was I trying to say? I was trying to say that I think one of the most fun parts outside of just that mastery of an entirely different control scheme is the fact that a huge, like... It's like the... Can I say this in a way that's not incredibly cringe? I was gonna call it the light side and the dark side of the mechanic. The dark side being the fact that, like, tiny mistakes can send you back to, like, the very start of the game. Like, there is no real checkpoint ever. Like, at any moment of the game, if you wanted to, you could always, like, either make a mistake bad enough, or, depending on what section of the game, just make a mistake, like, that the game deems bad enough to send you all the way to the start. That is the dark side. The bright side being that, I think that it's very complimentary to the game that a lot of these games in this genre allow you to come back from a mistake instantaneously. Or at least, like, recover to a degree that the mistake you made is not, like, catastrophic. 'Cause in Getting Over It, there's not any real sense of comeback. Like, you're not going to fall and then spring back up to where you used to be. But you can fall and then save yourself so that you wouldn't fall nearly as poorly as if you didn't, you know, react quick enough and save. God damn it. But this game, I think, does it, like, phenomenally well and is, you know, hand in hand with the Pogostuck mechanic. That, you can literally fall straight up to the bottom. I mean, you know, give or take, because there is a maximum distance you can jump back to. But you can fall, like, a very far way in this game. And with, like, the perfect angle, soar your way back to where you fell from with 0 consequence. God damn it, why do I keep fucking this up? Yeah, the bright side is that you get to dress up as a sunflower. No, but yeah, you can recover from extreme mistakes in this game. And I think that that's a ton of fun. But then the game, like, completely throws that out the window with the honey. It's literally just like, yeah, this is a mistake that you can't recover from at all. And I don't think that's very fun. But even more frustratingly, it's not that you can't recover from it at all. It's that you could recover from it. It's just really fucking insanely awkward. There you go. I don't know why I was having so much trouble with that jump. I thought I could just send it, but I needed to, I mean, you probably can just send it, but made it easier if I took a pit stop on that other seed thing. Okay. Back to where we started. Ground 0. Wait, no, not that. Not that. Not that. That's a different, at least in America, that's a different thing. Like, I do still think the sentiment makes sense, but not in the American context. we got a different definition for that one. Starting from scratch. There you go. That's a way we can all get behind. Oh man. I still find this section a little awkward, but it is like a good lesson in like a level of control over the character that you need to have. Or you should have by this point in the game, but I find myself losing it all the goddamn time. God damn it, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It's an area that, unless you're like really fucking good at the game, it's hard to go fast through. It's definitely hard for me to go fast through this area. I'm not gonna say I've never had like a clean ascent through it, because I definitely have. But I feel like, especially the more impatient you get, it's just the longer it punishes you, because you need to have like very specific inputs. There you go. It's a very precise section. Like, it punishes, that was almost bad. It punishes you not just for angling on your jump, but also angling on where you land your pogo stick, which is one of the key factors to getting good at the game, is not just realizing that you need a pogo good, but also that you need to land your pogo good in such a way that, I don't know why I bounced off there, in such a way that allows you to pogo even better than you could ever imagine. What am I talking about? That's how I get with this game. Makes me crazy wild. Am I gonna beat the game this stream? Let's not go that far. I've gotten through the palm tree section twice, and, I mean, thankfully, recovered from it pretty quickly, but have been sent back to Tree Honey Alley. So, you know, there's plenty of opportunity for me to make even worse mistakes. Though I was surprisingly adept at, the rock section above Mushroom Corridor. I did surprisingly well at that. Ooh, he's done it. Yeah, this section right here, I was taken aback by my own performance. No, don't make me look at chat, please. What does that mean? Oh, okay. Like, that's a very confusing sentence when you forget the context. Please don't. Yeah, I forgot you got your blood drawn. How'd that go? I mean, I assume you don't have results. Those usually take a while, don't they? But, you got your blood stolen. They didn't even pay you for it? You paid them? What kind of world is this? I can go to one building and get paid for my blood, but then I go to this other building and I pay them to take my blood? Hello? What are you doing, America? Am I the only one who thinks this is absolutely fucked? I don't need to talk about blood donations on every stream, but I'm still baffled that America's a blood-selling country. I guess I'm not that baffled. Like, it totally fits with everything else in America, don't get me wrong. Capitalism driven to the point that we will survive on the blood of people who can't afford to eat food otherwise. Oh, this is rough, dude. This is rough. I don't think I'm making it out of this. I'm trying. God damn it, dude. Sometimes when you're moving that fast, if you land on any sort of slope, like, I can pogo on that slope. That's not a slope that normally bounces you off. But because I was moving so quickly, it, like, clipped me inside of it a little bit and bounced me off, unfortunately. Nice. Clean recovery. You'll love to see it. Now, I always get complimented on my bones, every single time. My bones? That's still not right. My blood vessels. Every time I get my blood drawn, I get told I have very thick blood vessels, which is good for drawn blood, I guess. Love to see it. That's my new career. Giving up streaming, giving up making games. I'm gonna be an official blood salesman of my own supply. I got the veins for it. They told me. They told me I could have a serious career in this. Alright. I keep overshooting that one because I think it's good to overshoot. Because you can do sick, nasty shit like that and then fall. Like, isn't that what you want? God damn it, dude. Okay. Still recovering. Please don't. God damn it, dude. Back to palm trees. Yeah, that's, you know, thankfully something I've never had to deal with. The only thing I have had to deal with is I remember, and it sticks with me as a memory because, you know, I was a child, and traumatic moments in children tend to stick out in their memory. But I was like I don't remember how old I was. Probably older than I should have been to be reacting this way. But I was definitely in elementary school for sure. And I needed to get my blood drawn for some reason or another. I mean, maybe it was just like a checkup, like, hey, this kid's old enough that we should probably do a blood test just to make sure he doesn't have, like, AIDS or something. I don't know. Can you have AIDS as a baby? Maybe. But, yeah, I was getting my blood drawn, but I couldn't fucking do it. Like, I was so afraid, of getting my blood drawn as a child that it took a lot of hassle to get to the point. And I'm not even sure if the blood was drawn on that day. I think they might have needed to reschedule it because I was putting up such a shit fit that they were like, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time for this baby. Get him out of our sight, which is fair. That's fair. I was being a little baby. But at some point down the line, I don't know what happened. I'll just, you know, I'll get stuck with a needle just for fun, dude. Find a needle on the side of the street, and I'll just start sticking. That's how little needles bother. Okay. Joke over. I do not advise sticking yourself with needles found on the street. Let it be known. Unless it's like a really cool needle. Then it's, you know, it's anybody's. Finders keepers. Found this sick-ass needle. It's got a skull on it. Means it's gotta be good, right? Ooh, nice. You love to see it. Sometimes you do just get fucked by randomness on this, honestly. Because, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, there are, I'm sure, consistent, like, setups to prevent you, but sometimes you just come in at the other palm tree at an angle that makes it, like, absolutely impossible to have any sort of reasonable chance of making it up. God, I hate it when you just bounce your fat little ass on the side of a frond. Doesn't that just make everyone in this chat room angry? Like, he really would have an easier time of this if he wasn't so goddamn dummy thick. If your fat ass didn't stick out but behind the handlebars of the pogo stick, you'd have a real goddamn chance here. But I think the weight is honestly a huge factor as to why he can get so much height out of these bounces. Such elegance in controlling that massive center of mass. How does he do it? Okay, I'm fucking this up pretty miserably. But enough about Pogo, man. What else do I have to talk about? I've got a few things I haven't talked about on stream. My girlfriend and I watched the animated movie known as Akira. I was a little surprised. Because obviously my girlfriend knew what she was getting into when she suggested it. And, you know, I've obviously heard of Akira. Like, how can you not, right? It's like one of the most noteworthy animated films, especially. There's a lot of hype about it still to this day, despite coming out in like the 80s. Tons of good things being said about it, and if that can still happen over 30 years after a movie's release, I'd say you probably got a pretty good movie on your hands. So I was down to watch it. But I really deadass thought it was a movie about a guy with a bike. Like, I had no idea at all what the movie was about. No clue what happens in it. No clue what the themes of it were. I just thought, like, you know, whenever hearing Akira, I'm like, I know there's a dude with a bike in it. So I just always assumed it was like a cool dude in a bike. And it is. I was 100% correct. It is just a movie about a dude with a bike. Nothing else happens in it. What a story, that one. Took me for a ride for sure. On the bike, took me for a wild ride on Kanada's crazy bike. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I should probably put like spoilers for those who don't want to know anything about Akira, who haven't seen it, who want to see it, who have somehow avoided seeing it 30 years after release, but still really care about spoilers. Yeah, plug your ears, I guess. But that Tetsuo guy, what a card. What a stand-up dude. I feel like, you know, he kind of got the worst deal. The worst trade deal imaginable, right? Like, for one, he never got to ride the cool bike. Like, that's already, we've got one huge whiff for Tetsuo and his happiness. But also, to be fair, he wasn't the nicest guy. Did go a little bit power crazy, some would say. Thought he was the ruler of the world or something. Almost because, like, he was or something for a little bit. But, yeah, you know, you're just, like, living your life in a fucked up society that we all live in. And all of a sudden, oh my god, he's doing it. All of a sudden, you just bump into this goblin child. Some scientists pick you up, and before you know it, you turn into a universe? I'm a little bit hazy, honestly, on exactly what the implications of the ending are. Like, I don't know if... I mean, he just said... Okay, so, like, the leading hunch that I've got, right, is that at the end, he says, like, I am Tetsuo or something, and then it just shows a bunch of space. So... I believe the implication is that Tetsuo is now birthed as a fully formed star child, blossoming into a brand new universe or something. And I think that the second implication is that Akira had already done that, right? Like, they thought that they killed him, but actually that was just, like, the remnants of his human body, and he was no longer a part of that universe. He was his own Akira universe. That's what I thought, at least. But it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hazy, because, like, they were talking about, like, the maturity of his powers or whatever. So I'm not entirely sure if the implication is that, like, Akira, like, helped him mature his powers so that he turned into his own universe, or, like, he just swallowed him up and Tetsuo continued to be a disgusting mass of flesh, but in a universe that he can't hurt anyone. Who knows? I think the implication is that Tetsuo is just, like, his own universe, and, like, I don't know, maybe Akira just, like, showed him how. He was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? What is this flesh monster stuff? Just, like, turn into stars and shit. Like, dude, it's not even that hard. But, I think I followed that thread. Pretty raw deal, though, right? Like, you think that you're gonna be the ruler of the world you live in, and then all of a sudden, you're just rocks, man. You're just fucking rocks. I'd be pretty upset. Can't imagine. Can't imagine turning into rocks. But I don't know. Apparently, like, Akira still had, like, some agency if he... Oh my god, please don't. You're fucking kidding me. That tiny little bounce. Akira still had some agency since he could, like, hear the calls of the other star children and come back to the universe that he was born in and, like, help out or something. Weird movie. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. That's about all I have to say about it. Like, I don't know. There's still some things that, like, I'm still a little confused about why the children were little goblins. Is it because, like, they actually... Because they showed the flashback of, I think, the same kids hanging out with Akira. So is the implication that, like, they're, like, 50 years old, but in the bodies of children? Because that's kind of weird, bro. But I guess that's the solution they found to not have them explode into a new universe like Akira did. Definitely a little bit of a departure from what I was expecting. I was really just expecting, like, a cool dude who rides a bike. And that was it. But instead, I got a cool dude who rides a bike and also a flesh monster. And whenever you can increase the percentage of flesh monsters you've seen in your life, you know it's gonna be a good day. you know it's gonna be a good day. Trying to think what else has been going on, because I haven't really talked about anything non-game related on stream for a bit. My girlfriend and I have also started Dragon Quest 11. Because I'm a bit of a Dragon Quest gamer. I've played a decent amount of the main series games, though I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly which ones, because it's been forever since I played them. But I think I've played, like, literally every one of them on the original DS, and a few before that, but I can't remember exactly which ones. And the Dragon Quest Monsters series, specifically Joker 1, 2, and 3 being my favorites in the bunch, because, like, I mean, the other monster games are fine, but I don't actually think I played them to completion, because, like, they don't really do enough different from the Pokemon format, in my eyes. Whereas I think that Joker 1 really stepped up the game with what you can do with the monster synthesis, and it just... I mean, 2, I'll be honest, Joker 2 is by far the weakest link in the trilogy, which is crazy because, like, that one got ported to the West, but 3 didn't. Like, dude, 3 would have been a hit in the West, I think. I mean, if they took enough care, because, like, I don't know. I mean, Dragon Quest in the West has been, like, a difficult thing to get going for a while. Like, they've tried, but the games always do worse in the West than they do in Japan, for whatever reason. So, I can see them finding the reason to not make a localized version of Joker 3, considering Joker 2 did poorly, but also, like, I think Joker 1 did fairly poorly too, don't get me wrong. I think both of the Joker games were not great successes in the West. But I think 3 adds so many cool new things, and like, there's so much you can do in the game, and so much freedom in synthesizing your monsters, and, like, changing the colors of them, writing them, making, like, the fucking, like, ultimate 4 tall? The 4 big monsters? Or was it 4 or 3? No, it is 4, yeah. You have the monsters that are 3 big, that you can fight in normal combat, and then the monsters that are 4 big, that are only for special fights against other monsters that are 4 big. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, which I assume is the majority of people on the planet, basically, like, imagine a Pokemon team, but there are certain Pokemon that take up multiple slots in your team. So, like, the typical Pokemon format is you have a team of 6. Well, imagine if you could have a team of 6, but you could also have a team of 4 regular-sized Pokemon, and have 1 Pokemon that's too big, like two Pokemon sizes large. But it kind of falls apart with the Pokemon analogy, because in Dragon Quest Monsters, you fight with all of your monsters at the same time, whereas in Pokemon, unless you're in, like, a double battle, you're only fighting with 1. But, yeah, the standard Dragon Quest monster, at least for the entirety of the Joker series, and I can't remember too much about the older ones, but the standard party size is 3, but you could either have, like I said, 3 of the single size, like the small monsters, or you could roll, like, 1 medium-sized monster, 1 small monster, which I think is what I typically did, or just 1 large monster, which I think I might also have done, because, I don't know, there's, like, a lot of freedom, and there are certain upsides for sure, like the power of the monster obviously goes up with the size of it. Like, a lot of the bigger monsters compensate with being stronger. But, you only get to attack with them, like, once, right? Whereas if you had 3 small dudes, you could do 3 separate things per turn. That's the reason why, even in, like, a late game scenario, you don't always want to have, like, strictly the biggest guy. Though, there is something to be said about having the biggest guy. Just because it's cool to have the biggest guy. But yeah, there's so much in Joker 3 that just, like, I don't know, to me, really, like, changes and evolves the format of what I want out of a game, like Pokemon or Dragon Quest Monsters. Like, it really is the epitome of everything you could want, I think. Like, the customization is there, the variety, well, I don't know, I would say the variety is there, but I'm honestly kind of, that being one of the only complaints I have towards the Dragon Quest Monster series is that I wish they did have a little bit more variety in the monsters, because they have a lot, don't get me wrong, and, like, especially the later end ones that take a lot of effort to synthesize. There's some really cool designs in there, but for the most part, what you're seeing is a lot of reskins, which is super disappointing when, like, you know that they have those monster designs. Like, just playing Dragon Quest XI, I'm like, there's so many cool new monster designs that even I haven't seen, being, like, a Dragon Quest fan. I'm like, this fucking onion slime is cute as hell, dude. And there's, like, a little lantern guy I've never seen, and I think the Cruel Cumbers I have seen. I think that's in Joker 1, even. But still, there's like, plenty of designs for monsters that are in, like, the main series Dragon Quest games that don't get brought over to the monster series. And so what you're left with is, like, you know, a decent selection of uniquely designed monsters, but then also, unfortunately, a decent selection of reskins of those same monsters. Like, there's the puddle slime, and then there's, like, the acid slime, which is just, like, a green puddle slime, and then you got the golem, the golden golem, the iron golem. There's a lot of golems, for sure. I mean, the the exact names of the reskins aren't coming to my head immediately. The slime and she slime, those are just reskins. The Cyclops and the, I don't know, there's like an orange version of the Cyclops whose name I don't remember, but there's tons of reskins, basically, is the point I'm trying to drive home here. So that's like the one thing that I would like to see alleviated a little bit. I'm not saying you can't have any reskins, because, like, sure, you can have, like, a liquid slime, a bubble slime, and an acid slime, and have them be the exact same thing with different colors. Like, sure, do that sometimes, but also have, like, a decent selection of unique monsters, which I would say, like, Joker 3 had a decent selection, but I don't know, there was still, like, at least, like, 20%, I would say, of the monsters were reskins, which, I don't know, maybe doesn't sound that bad to a lot of people, but 20% seems pretty high to me. And 20, honestly, might be a little gracious. I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer to 30 or 40. Because, I don't know, I can't think of, like, a lot of monsters outside of the super late game ones that don't have at least one reskin, right? So that, no matter what, brings you closer and closer to 50%. Like, if every unique monster has at least one reskin. But I don't think it's that bad. I think it's close to being that bad, but not that bad. But still, Joker 3, phenomenal game. I can't really easily recommend it unless you know Japanese, because it's Japanese only. Now, I could say that there might be a way of getting a translation patch. Possibly. I'm not going to say whether or not it exists online right now or not, but if you did your own research, you may or may not find something. And the plausible translation that may or may not exist is completely fine. Like, I had no problems with it whatsoever. The particular version that I had, I think they patched it since I played it, but the version that I had crashed on, like, 7 very specific chests. It was, like, a very small amount, but there was, like, a specific kind of chest you would find in the game. God damn it, dude. And, yeah, like, 7 of those crashed the game. That's gonna really fucking hurt. Thank God. Good angle. Good angle. Good recovery. I shouldn't have kept trying for that. Like, I knew it was a lost cause, continuing to go for that, but I was desperate. But yeah, I mean, if you do end up getting the version that's not patched for whatever reason, on the, official download page for it, there is, like, it perfectly outlines what specific chests crashed the game, so it's completely playable start to finish, and, like, the items that you miss out on aren't even that important, I'm pretty sure, so it's really not that much of a problem. Oh, there was other, like, very, very small issue with it, I think, where, like, if you fought, like, sometimes there would be, like, group encounters of the same monster, and because, like, their names were really big or something, they just, like, died immediately when the combat starts, which is, it's, you know, it's whatever. It happened very rarely. And again, I think the patch might have fixed that as well. Can't remember. But, yeah, if you like Pokemon-style games, or if you like the Dragon Quest monster games, I highly recommend Joker 3. It is by far, like, mechanically, I don't care about story that much, so if you're expecting, like, a phenomenal story, you're not going to get that. But, mechanically, one of the strongest games with those same mechanics that I've seen in a while. In a very long while. God damn it, dude. I'm getting nowhere here. I'm trying, I think the autopilot is helping this, though. Remember when you told me you swore your sister was playing the new Dragon Quest game with Japanese voice acting? Yes. What, did they, like... did they patch in Japanese voice acting with the newest version of it or something? Only the Switch version was released with Japanese. Cool. You love to see it. Yeah, I was taken aback. I guess I did kind of get derailed from from the original topic being Dragon Quest XI. But it was incredibly weird finding out that there's no language options, but also that that's just how the game was released globally. Like, even in Japan, they had English voice acting. Which my girlfriend relates to sounding similar to Xenoblade Chronicles. Which I can see, for sure. Especially because it's, you know, it's not American English. It's like UK English. Though, I don't know, some characters, like the newest party member we just received, Eric, has, like, a Brooklyn accent. Like, all of the voices don't really fit together at all. But that's just, I don't know. I feel like that's just how voice acting in games is in general. Like, I don't think there's been a single game I've ever played that I've been like, there is nothing remotely funny about this voice acting. It's always with, like, a hint of humor. Did I say with voice acting in general? I mean specifically English, because, like, when it's in a different language, like, for all I know, the voice acting could be horrible, right? But because I don't understand the language, it just sounds like one of my favorite animes, you know? So I give it a little bit more leeway than I would in English voice acting. I've always wondered if that would change, though, right? Like, that's one of the things I thought about while learning Japanese, is, am I going to feel like, am I actually going to recognize bad voice acting over good voice acting, is the best way to put it. I probably not, unless I got, like, very fluent with it. I probably wouldn't be able to pick apart, like, oh, this person is talking, like, kind of awkwardly here, but I wonder how long it takes to catch on to that. Because as someone who can't even form, like, a coherent sentence in Japanese, like, I could listen to someone who can form a coherent sentence in Japanese, even if they've got, like, a horrible delivery and, like, god-awful accent, and be like, oh, wow, impressive. How'd you get so good at Japanese? Whereas, like, a native speaker would be like, what the fuck is he even, like, oh, is that what he was trying to say? I couldn't even understand it through the thick accent. Because, like, I don't know, that is kind of an important thing for Japanese, is, like, voice pitch when talking. Because in English, I don't know, voice pitch is not that important. But, yeah, like, I don't know, I ended that sentence pitched up for some reason. Like, did I need to? No. But I did. Like, voice pitch is not, oh god, nearly as important to like, structuring a sentence. Now, that being said, like, you can still, if someone's, like, raising and lowering their pitch for, like, no real reason, it is going to sound weird. But you're still going to understand what they're saying. Whereas in Japanese, there are literally, like, words that if you don't, like, pronounce with the right voice pitch, you could be saying an entirely separate word that, you know, in English is homonymous, but in Japanese, where voice pitch is a little more important. Like, a good example being rain and candy. I'm pretty sure rain is ame, and candy is... I do suck at the pitch up, but I think it's ame. I don't even know if I did it right, but I'm pretty sure rain has a down pitch at the end, and candy has an up pitch. That word, you know, being small enough, you probably wouldn't confuse someone if you used the wrong pitch, especially with context, but, you know, spiral that out to the entire vocabulary of the Japanese language, and the pitch can start to matter. But I never got good at that. In fact, like, the only thing that I, like, slightly picked up on was whenever you have, like a, I forget the proper terminology for it, but, like, a compound word. Especially, oh, and there I go. There I fucking go, don't I? Especially, like, a repeating compound word, which is fairly common. Like naka-naka, which I didn't say with the right pitch. And hitobito, which I did say with the right pitch. Although, I don't know, I haven't really heard naka-naka used that often. Like, would it be naka-naka? Or, sorry, naka-naka. Wait, fuck. I think it would be the same pitch as hitobito. But that's, I don't know. I think it is used fairly commonly, but I haven't paid, like, too much attention. I haven't picked up on it, really. But what I'm trying to say is that for those kinds of compound words, and just in general for, like, words that have, like, 4 syllables, it seems to be a trend that you start low, go high for the next 2 syllables, and then end low. But I might be wrong. I'm sure there's exceptions, because there's like, I don't know, in every language, no matter how like hard a rule is, there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. English being one of the worst with that. Or so I've heard. But yeah, Japanese has a lot of exceptions too. And God, it's like a real hard language to learn with no background in Chinese either. Like, having a fully phonetic alphabet is nice, but then the entirety of kanji is kind of a mess. Like, cultural significance aside, it is a huge pain in the ass to learn. I can't even imagine, like, God, school must be real fucking weird for, like, a primary school Japanese and Chinese student. But, you know, I've heard that, it's pretty easy to teach languages to children. Why don't parents do that? Like, why didn't my parents just give me phonics for literally every language, you know? Like, if it really is that much easier as constantly you hear people say it is for kids to learn languages, just fucking hook me up with all of them, dude. Hook me up with complete knowledge of language. There's probably something to be said that it would be kind of hard to correct your kid if they said something wrong in a language that you don't even understand. So, maybe I see the reasoning behind parents typically only teaching kids the languages that they know. But, man, languages take a long fucking time before you actually feel like you can do anything. And I spent like a year of studying and still can't really do anything with Japanese, unfortunately. Outside of, like, pick apart a few words and be like, oh. You know, like, sometimes I'll see a sign, and I'll be like, oh, I know what the sign is saying. That's cool. Or I can, like, pronounce the name of this place, because, like, a lot of named places use pretty simple kanji. And not always the case, but... Like, especially names of people use, like, a pretty common set of fairly simple kanji that you would learn at a really early age. I wonder if that's done on purpose, so that kids, like, know what their name is. Like, this kid's going to fucking school writing their name down and they don't even know what the kanji is. That's probably pretty likely for a little while, at least. I mean, I'm sure in most cases the parent would just be like, oh yeah, that's what your name means, by the way. Fucking stoned god. Still thinking about Ishigami. We gotta watch the second season of that. Has it finished? I haven't been keeping track of if Senku and the boys have finally gotten around to finishing. Not yet? Okay. Not yet. It's on like 10 episodes? No! I thought it was on like 10 episodes when we first talked about it. That doesn't sound right at all. Something fucked up. It's probably my brain. That's okay. We got other things like Akira and fucking Dragon Quest with a Brooklyn accent. Still, like, so fucking weird going from, like, oh, please don't. One dude being like, "Oh, blimey! Oh, no!" Like, "Oh, that's awfully funny, isn't it?" And then the next person who talks is like, "Hey, I'll have a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt and pepper on a roll." Yes, sir. It's so weird hearing Eric's voice compared to literally every other character. I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe it is like an actual part of UK that sounds like that, but at first when I heard the accent, I was like, this doesn't even sound like a real accent. Because, I don't know, it felt like fairly inconsistent in some of the things he was saying. But then I picked up on it being a Brooklyn accent, or at least I'm pretty sure it's a Brooklyn accent. Sounds pretty New Yorker to me. I can say that. I've been to New York. I know what it sounds like. Okay, I'm not handling this correctly at all. I need to be more careful on this section. Like, that was flawless. That was flawed. Big flaws. Huge flaws. It literally started airing last month, or like 2 months ago? That doesn't sound right at all to me. I felt like it was like at least like 7 or 8 episodes in when we first looked at it. But maybe I am going crazy. Dude, my hands are sweating. Too much gaming. I'm probably gonna wrap it up pretty soon here, honestly, because I am not making any progress. And, you know, I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do with this stream anyway, so the fact that I had anything to do after wrapping up Risk of Rain is miraculous on its own. But, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I didn't really talk about why I didn't stream yesterday. It was straight up just Alan wasn't feeling it. I was like, I could stream, like, I thought about what I wanted to stream, and, like, no good answers popped up. I was like, I don't know, I could just make it work, I guess. And I kind of had a similar feeling today until I saw that, oh my god. Until I saw that Risk of Rain 2 updated. I was like, well, that's a pretty easy thing to hop on, I guess. And here I am. I gotta get back to, like, the regular things I was doing. Like, just chilling in alpha Minecraft has been fun. Though I haven't done it in a while. I'll get back to it. But, tomorrow is the special day. Tomorrow is the... I download a bunch of random games off of, like, itch.io and have fun. It was 1 episode in. That doesn't sound right. Like, I swear I remember going to the page and seeing, like, maybe it was just trailers. Maybe I'm thinking of trailers. But I remember going to the My Anime List page and seeing, like, multiple videos. I thought that was multiple episodes, but maybe not. Maybe I truly am lost in this world. You know what I've been thinking about doing, though? I know I've got, like, so many things that I have, like, constantly running on this stream, and I never finish anything, the game I'm playing right now included. But I've really been thinking about doing a Dark Souls randomizer, because that's always sounded fun to me. And watching Ryan do another Dark Souls randomizer recently has made me go, oh yeah, still want to do that. God damn it, man. So maybe I'll I'll throw that in the docket for next week, but there's also something to be said about finishing some of the things I've got going. Though some of them have no real endpoint, right? Like the Minecraft Alpha thing, or Minecraft Progressive, or whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't have a strict definition for my own series. But, yeah, that could go forever. Just, you know, constantly, slowly introducing updates to the game as I play it. That basically ends when I decide it. But, I'm trying to think, what else have I had going on? Oh, Dyson Sphere. Yeah, it has been a while since I've gotten back to Dyson Sphere. Maybe I should consider wrapping up Dyson Sphere before I do something wacky, like a Souls randomizer. Because I still want to finish Dyson Sphere. Though, it's been a while since I've gotten the itch to play it. It's still, like, reeling from the last time I played, discovering that, planetary logistics system does not mean from planet to planet. And the fact that I basically have to start from scratch on a new planet with titanium to get any sort of real progress going. God damn it, dude! Why can't I nail that jump ever? Please, that was such a bad fucking bounce there. You're fucking kidding me. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Alright, so that's where we call it for Pogo. I'm so fucking tired of going through this same section over and over again. I'll finish this game at some point, but this game is probably going to, like, literally be permanently on the back burner. Because, like, what is there to say about Pogostuck, right? It's the game where you go up and fall down. Like, unless I have anything particularly interesting to talk about, which I don't right now, yeah, it's kind of hard to play. Oh, you know what? End is Nigh also. That's something that I'll need to finish up soon, too. Though that's not going to take that long. But similar situation where, like, you know, the gameplay is not that thrilling in the thing I'm doing in End is Nigh right now. Like, there's only so many times I can comment on myself dying in the exact same way over and over again. So, unless I have something fun to talk about, I'm not super attracted to the idea of streaming it. But that was fun. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow with weird shit. I'm going to be doing... I don't know yet. I'm going to pick a theme when I wake up tomorrow. I'm going to download a bunch of games, and we'll see where that takes us. Not sure what the theme is going to be yet, but I'll figure it out. So be back tomorrow, and goodbye. Hee hee.